Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. My guest this week is coming off his 5th World Finals championship, 3rd in the Lucas Oil high jump. Let's fire up the Zenny Optical Hotline, go to North Carolina to welcome in Ryan Anderson. Ryan, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam. Congratulations on your World Finals championship.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again, dude. I always love being on Inside Monster Jam.
Yeah, pleasure, man. You just keep racking up the wins. So as we're continuing on here with our championship week, I want to talk about first, before we get to the competition, let's talk about your week in Salt Lake City, because it was a full-on event for all of us. We were out there all week. The company out there, the Utah Sports Commission, incredibly welcoming to us. You had your wife out there. You had your son out there. So as a family, what was that experience like for you and all of the Andersons?
It was awesome. It's also chaos too. World Finals is our biggest event of the year. So with the biggest event comes a lot of duties, a lot of things to do. And it was, so a week before was basically just head down, heading into World Finals, getting ready for the competition, getting the truck ready, practice, all kinds of media stuff. So it's kind of it's a work week, but it's a different one than you get all year long. It's a whole another animal. So we did some really funny filming stuff, which will come out soon, I'm sure. And we did a lot of serious stuff, and we did, practice is always crazy at World Finals. It was hot. It was dramatic. It was problems. It was this. It was that. Track changes, truck changes. It was a crazy week. It's really hard to sum it up in words.
Well, we can talk about some of that funny filming, because you did join me for Family Game Night 2.0, which at the time of this release of your show will have already aired. It's the scheduled announcement show. And we put you through the wheelie relay race to help announce with your brother Weston was there. And funny enough, man, is that green tricycle is now in my garage at my house right down the road in Claremont. So I took that home. But talk about your experience with me at Family Game Night, because it was fun.
It was pretty hilarious, and I, allowing myself to be the butt of the joke, took the obvious wrong choice of the child's bicycle. It's quite obvious without saying anything that my little skinny brother would have been the better choice on that. But he tried to use his, as well as being skinny, his height, really just smearing it in my face, that he needed to be on the very easy to ride tricycle. So, yeah, I made myself look like an idiot. But I knew I'm not athletic enough in anything other than a Monster Jam truck, that my best case scenario is to crash or make everybody laugh looking like a dummy. So I think I checked those boxes.
That's what it's all about, man. We had fun, and the fact that you chose that made me chuckle, and it made for some good television. I think all of our fans will enjoy that, or have enjoyed that already. And believe it or not, I still use the tricycle riding around my neighborhood. I go to the grocery store on that. It's right across the street, so I'm sure I'm making everybody laugh as well. And I am tall and skinny and probably shouldn't be on that thing ever.
The tricycle was sick, man. I'm jealous. I wanted that thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about your support system, man, because this World Finals, with your wife being there, and I know she has a successful career of her own, but it seems like she is full on board to this support system of Monster Jam. Was she there to help you with your son while you did all the media and just be there for you? Because for me, there's nothing more important than family when it comes to Monster Jam, and especially when you have that kind of commitment that you have to make.
Yeah, absolutely. She was 100% of that. Like everything that I had to do, every obligation I had, she was there. We only had our youngest son, Halen, there. He's a year and a half, and he is just absolutely feral. He is wild. I don't know where he gets it from, but he is wild. And it's awesome, but at the same time, when you're trying to do stuff, man, it's literally like trying to wrangle a wild raccoon the entire time. And she was there to wrangle that raccoon for me 100%. And then as soon as I won, the elevator was backed up with people going up and down. She actually climbed all the flights of stairs. Luckily Tyler was there to help out, so they passed the baby like a baton as they did the relay race up all the flights of stairs to be there to celebrate with me too. But yeah, they are a high, like a big unspoken thing of our sport. When we're gone, they're here. My wife is here taking care of the kids, the house, everything else that goes along with it. So luckily for the road my dad's paved us, that I don't have to stay out on the road all the time. I can come home during the week and those things, but it's still not easy. She's still home alone for a better half of the week. while I'm gone on the weekends tearing up Monster Jam trucks and trying to pursue my career. So thankfully she has a career that's successful, and it also allows her to be essentially a stay-at-home mom when I'm gone and all those things. So yeah, without her it wouldn't be possible for sure. I'd have to put a little baby seat in my Monster Jam truck or something, I guess. I don't know, because the baby's a full-time job.
For all of our viewers watching, they see this massive trophy case behind you, and we're going to have to talk about that. But first, we're going to have to go to break. Coming up next, more with Ryan Anderson and his 27 Monster Jam trophies next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. My guest this week is Son of a Digger's Ryan Anderson, the brand new Lucas Oil high jump champion. Before we get into that, Ryan, that is an incredible trophy room that you have. And you and I talked off air about that fire suit you have behind you. Can you tell our fans a little bit about that?
Yeah, that is actually my first ever fire suit. I was probably around 3 years old, so not saying I was out there tearing up the track, but I had a fire suit though, and I was looking official.
I like that, man. I like it a lot. And just all those trophies, man. Your career just has become synonymous with winning. And now you have tied your brother Adam with 5 World Finals championships, second only to Tom Meents. You surpassed your dad. So let's talk about the Lucas Oil high jump, because that's one that you had won 2 years in a row. It got away from you last year. Colt Stevens won it. And I know, talking to you, especially at the press conference, that was one that you really wanted back. So was your intention coming into Salt Lake City to get that Lucas Oil high jump championship back where it belongs at Digger's Dungeon?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the goals. Obviously, everybody knows I love freestyle. That's always been my goal, every World Finals. But the high jump one is one that I wanted back for sure. And last year's slipped away from me, and I strictly on order. I feel like the track got more traction. The starting line for the high jump got more traction every pass. So the later you were on the pack, the better you were. I had choice. I chose early, thinking the track was going to do the opposite. So totally my fault. And but nothing taken away from Colt. He aired it out, and he was there for business this time as well. So I was stoked to get it back, and got it back in a big way. Man, I went huge. Hitting that ramp is unlike anything else. I mean, it's a booter, man. It's so crazy.
We saw some drivers, including Colt, that faltered off the ramp a little bit and did not get the expectations or the results that they had anticipated. Would you call that because of the track, or was it just miscalculation on their part as to where to put the tires, to where to start on the ramp? Because there were, I think this year more than any other year in the previous 5 years, more issues with drivers coming off that ramp and getting very low heights.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit of everything. So shock tuning plays a big role, traction and how to work with that traction, whether it's good or bad, and placement of the tires on that ramp. When you place the tires on that steel ramp, it just gives you the extra bounce. I mean, it's insane. It's like a video game. It gives you a boost off the ramp. And also this year everybody was doing a lot of engine tuning, trying to map out everything right for the elevation. And I adjusted my shift point and a couple other things that I think was a big help, along with me lining it up just right, that got me that big gap above everybody else.
Every year at World Finals, you compete in multiple competitions, sometimes even all 4. So with this Lucas Oil high jump, with the specifications that you have to get your truck tuned into, where do you and Bryce find the time to fit this in to everything else? Because it is such a specified, differential when it comes to what you need your truck to do in this, as opposed to racing, freestyle, and skills.
Yeah, and Bryce is basically just constantly on the truck. I mean, Bryce Langlois is like, I don't know how to explain it other than he is just obsessed with tuning, tweaking, adjusting, never stopping. When the truck is done, he's halfway there. He is just constantly still going and going over everything. So he has really become my library for my shock tune-ups, and he remembers everything so much better than I do. And he remembers to give it that little extra that we want to get that jump off the ramp. And he just, when I'm out there running my mouth, talking on the microphone, doing media, he's behind the scenes. He is wrenching on the truck constantly. So, and also, not to mention, as soon as he puts down the wrenches, when I'm pulling away, he's in my ears. He's telling me what's going on. He's my eye in the sky, watching what's going on. So part of this year was we had to pit outside, away from vision. So we weren't able to see, and you're not able always to pit where you can see the screen behind the scenes. So a lot of stuff you're heading into blind, and that's sometimes it's great because you can get lucky and things will go wild because you don't know what's going to happen. But at the same time, it's world finals. You want to be as prepped and as ready for everything as possible. So Bryce was literally slinging wrenches and would throw the wrenches down and runs full sprint to a spot he could see, and he was watching everybody go, and he was telling me if the track was hooking left or right for high jump, how the ramp was doing, if people were missing the ramp, all those things. So he was giving me the full download of everything he could on every competition. High jump was one of the ones that we actually did get to sit out and watch, but it's still, he's up there watching it from a different angle. He's telling me what they're doing, what they're not doing. So we're just constantly bouncing ideas and thoughts and processing everything going on.
It's Bryce freaking Langlois, and I'll say
That's
that
right.
because we have kids listening. But that dude is like a silent assassin, man. He is such a quiet presence, but man, he is a rock star in the technician world. We'll talk about him more, and we're going to talk about Son of a Digger's return to Australia next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. We are back with more Inside Monster Jam powered by Lucas Oil. Before we get back to the show, I want to tell you how excited we are to help you rev up your vision with our good friends at Zenni Optical. We have teamed up with Zenni to offer you the deal of a lifetime. Go to zenni.com/monsterjam and you can get any frame you want. You get the Year of the Snake like me. They have prescription eyewear, reading glasses, regular stylish glasses, sunglasses as well. Whatever you need, Zenni's got it. The prices are so great. The styles are awesome. Go there, enter the code MonsterJam, save 10% off your order, and rev up your vision with our friends at Zenni, just like me. Now let's get back to the Zenni Optical Hotline and go back to Digger's Dungeon and welcome back Ryan Anderson. We've been talking about your World Finals win. Now we're going to move forward because Son of a Digger is going back to Australia. We saw this incredible announcement of you and your brother Adam both going back to Australia. It starts Melbourne October 4th, goes to Sydney, goes to Gold Coast. How excited are you to bring Son of a Digger back to the land down under?
I'm so excited. I can't explain how excited I am. Australia is my favorite place internationally I've ever been to my life. It was a blast. When I went the 2 years that I went before, we had so much fun. It was just so awesome. The people are so nice, and they're all like natural gearheads. It's so cool. So I'm excited to go back. Me and my big brother are ready to rock the house in Australia. I can't wait, man. That place is amazing. Every venue we went to, everybody was super nice at the venue. The fans were hardcore. The shows were awesome. So I'm ready to rock it again. I cannot wait.
We see Gravedigger on our international series driven by Charlie Puck and Matt Cody as well, but the fans have not really gotten to see Son of a Digger over there in quite some time. So this is going to be a huge treat because, as you said, Gearhead's a lot of big Australian fans over there. Monster Jam is a worldwide phenomenon all over the globe, and we try to bring as many trucks and events to our fans worldwide as well. But I think Son of a Digger is sort of a reclusive superstar to some of our fans, because when I looked at some of the Instagram comments, everybody just clamoring to see your truck back in Australia. Do you take any sort of pride in knowing that this is something that the fans have been clamoring for, asking for, and now you're going to deliver that to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as I want to go every year to every Monster Jam show internationally ever, it's not possible. There's only one Son of a Digger, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So that makes it to where I can't always go. And a lot of times the trucks go for 2 years at a time. So I can't miss 2 years of the United States tour. So this worked out so perfectly where I was able to button up at Monster Jam World Finals, pack that thing up, and send it over to Australia. So it's going to be awesome. It's something that I don't know when it's going to happen again. So don't miss out on it, expecting me to come back next year, because as of right now, that's not the plan. So you want to go this time. Me and my big brother together is always a riot, and we're in Australia. I can promise you we're going to push it even harder.
It's been 10 years. It was 2015 was the last event you did in Australia. So this is, we'll call it a decade of Digger destruction for you to celebrate. I see a T-shirt in the future with the Australian flag on there. But again, you're telling fans you don't know when you're coming back. It's been 10 years since your last appearance. So my advice to fans in Australia, get your tickets now to see Son of a Digger, because this could be a once-in-a-lifetime event, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Me and my big brother together, like I say, is always a riot. And please, anybody in Australia that's got any spare monster truck parts, we're going to need them, because we're going to tear some stuff up. We're going crazy. I'm ready to make up for 10 years of not coming back to Australia. And I'm going to do my best to make sure every single event, no matter what, I'm going to go out there and drive that truck like a madman until it won't go anymore. And I promise that every time.
Before we get to the JCB Arena Stadium race of the year, I want to talk about your rivalry with Adam, because we touched on that at the press conference, and I did ask you if tying Adam with 5 world championships is on your radar. You said yes, absolutely. You've done that. You've surpassed your dad. You and Adam now are second all-time, only to Tom Meents in World Finals championships. So obviously moving into next year, I have to ask you if surpassing your brother and taking sole possession of that second place is something that will be on the forefront or even the back of your mind moving into 2026.
Yeah, that's definitely, I like the sound of it, that's for sure. But at the same time, just like all my siblings, like I want them to win, not as bad as I want to, but really close. So if anybody's going to pass me, I want it to be my big brother. I want it to be one of my siblings. So I can't say it's like I'm just dying to get that. But at the same time, if I do get it, he'll hear about it for sure.
Okay, I love that. And then let me ask you this. You get 6 World Finals championships. Would you consider yourself, at the moment, the second greatest driver of all time? Because the championships say you are. And I'm a stats guy, but I'm asking you.
I can't take that. I can't take that because there's stuff that my dad did. I mean, the footprint my dad left, the path of gold that he paved for all of us. And he only has 4 championships. So that, and he is, in my, like, I don't even want to say in my opinion, he is the best of all time. And then Tom, not only did he get 14 world championships, he did it for so long. He innovated so much. I mean, the championships are awesome. That's an easy staple to go on. But the real thing that Tom did was everything else. Innovation of the sport, being a madman, all these wild things. So yeah, I can't take second.
I love that answer. I have to ask that question. You know that. I think that's a home run answer. Let's talk about JCB Stadium Racer of the Year 2025. You go 52-8. 52-8. You went to the starting line 60 times, and 52 times you crossed the finish line before your opponent. I don't care what sport we're talking about. That is an astounding number and a well-deserved win for you, a well-deserved award, man. The racing seems to come so easy for you, and you go on these hot streaks like I've never seen. We talk about it on primetime all the time, man, but how do you continue to just dominate year after year on the racetrack? Because what you're doing out there is unbelievable.
Honestly, it's kind of a love-hate thing for me. I think it's a lot because a lot of, like, with my age and becoming a father and all these things, it makes you think differently. You know, pre-kids, man, I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof every time I was behind the wheel. Now it's not that I'm thinking about, like damaging myself or anything like that whatsoever. It just, like, this life changes. So it's made me way more under control in the truck, and which is obviously shown in racing. Racing, I stay calm, I stay cool and collected, and I hit my marks. Just even when I'm not trying to, it just happens. So, but then on the flip side of that is my freestyles. They're still great and they're crazy, but they're not what I want. I beat myself up about freestyles all the time. So it's kind of been a give or take for me a little bit, but I definitely owe it to my ability to stay calm now and just think clearly, and it literally just it just falls in place for me.
I understand the dad reference, because as fathers, we do change our lifestyle and we do things differently. Now that I'm a dad of 3, I don't go on the road as much anymore. They do say that all superheroes do not wear capes. And I still, though, Ryan, sometimes feel like I am 10 foot tall and bulletproof. The only difference is I have pink toenails now at this point. So we're coming up next, your fan questions for Ryan Anderson on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. This week, I'm joined on the Zenny Optical Hotline by Son of a Digger's Ryan Anderson as we discuss his 5th World Finals Championship win. It is time for you to take over the show. Get your questions in each and every week on Instagram at Scott Jordan MJSX. Brandon Job, who asks some really great questions, by the way. He's always active on here. Do you see yourself and Adam continuing to compete in the sport for another 15 to 20 years until the age Dennis or Tom retired at? If not, what would be some of the contributing factors to that? So what do you think your longevity is? Are you going to last as long as your dad did and Tom Meents?
Yeah, I don't see any stopping in my future at all. Like the way that the truck is set up for me and the way I'm driving and all these things, like I'm not I'm not feeling worse. I'm not feeling bad. Honestly, if anything, I used to beat myself up more just out of not knowing. Setup, strapping in myself, neck restraint helmets, all those things I've figured out so much over the years. All of us have as a sport as a whole. That now I feel better getting out of the truck now than I probably ever have. So I don't see any reason why I can't match what my dad did or go farther. Like I say, just because of safety equipment and my know-how and my different things that I do that help me out, I jump out of the truck and within a week I feel fine physically. Mentally, yeah, it's a lot, especially with I have a young son now that's home, and man, the every time I would leave, it seemed like he would get a little bit more understanding of Daddy was leaving, and then when I would come home, he's open arms. So that was the biggest thing for me, especially this year, was my young son. Every time I would leave, it was like, man, it was like just tearing my heart out. And when I come home, he'd be so excited. So physically, it's not bad. We have the truck so dialed now, and there's still more to come. There's still so much more that I want to upgrade on the trucks that's going to only help this. So I don't see any reason why I can't go as long as my dad did.
We got time for one more here. Ram10897 is saying, is there any conflict in the Anderson household now that you have matched Adam's 5 world championships? So any bragging rights going on down there in North Carolina?
No, honestly, me and Adam are probably the most even of everybody, as far as we don't really care who has more or what, as long as we're both doing good. But Kristen and Weston, that's when it's going to come into play. When they start clicking up the championships, yeah, I better have my belt cinched up tight, because they are some smack talkers, especially the sister. Right. Kristen is she expects to be on marquee boards. The whole town knows about it. I can't even go grocery shopping without getting smeared that Kristen just beat me in one competition. So if she wins more championships than me, I'm gonna have to move town. I'm gonna have to move out.
I was just in Orlando with her. That sounds about right. I love Kristen. I love Weston, but I do think we need to remind Weston that you have 5 more world championships than he does. I think that might just take him down a little peg. Ryan, thank you so much, man. Best of luck to you in Australia. Great catching up with you. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. I can't wait to see you guys next time at Monster Jam.
Next week on Inside Monster Jam, we bring in JCB Digatron's Tristan England. That is all coming up next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.